The personal story I'm about to share mirrors that of hundreds, even thousands of Anchorage residents. As we told you at 5 p.m., my wife Rebecca Paulsch and I woke up recently to find that our own family car had been stolen right out of the driveway overnight. And that's where this story begins. Already this year, more than 2,000 cars have been stolen in Anchorage. That's a staggering 300% increase over the same period in 2015. A wave of property crime that city officials say is linked to the statewide opioid epidemic.
John copies.
And police spread thin. We quickly learned that if we wanted to get our car back, we would have to get to work ourselves. The APD employee said, on the phone said, we wouldn't send an officer to go look for just one car. You know, they told us they wouldn't go looking for just one car. And then she's the first one who said, you should probably put it on Facebook, you should probably talk to cab companies and just get the word out that it's stolen. And so we did. Sure enough, later that same day, I received the first of many tips. Our car parked along Tudor Road. I headed out to check out the tip. Someone on their walk to work had seen a car that looked like the one that I posted. False alarm. By the time Rebecca anchored the news,
lawmakers will also be taking up the issue of public safety.
But that night, a tip on our post to the Stolen Alaska Facebook group, and a photo, our car, seen minutes earlier at a Midtown parking lot. I hurried there in a borrowed car. I'm standing exactly where our stolen 2009 Hyundai Santa Fe was as of about 2 hours ago. I arrived maybe 45 minutes too late. The tipster who saw our car didn't want to appear on camera. This is his voice.
And the description, like the roof rack and things that you had posted onto that Stolen Alaska page, helped me remember the image. And I pull back up the Stolen Alaska post and look at it and see that the license plate matches up.
I walked the neighborhood. Our tipster said 2 stolen cars had been parked in the same lot within a week or two. This Anchorage man was one of those theft victims.
Here's the pictures that I have.
But his truck was recovered with a bullet hole in the window and testing positive for meth. Unfortunately, our car got away. It's just being driven around Anchorage, so wish me luck. Not only was our family car still on the run, it was now being used in other crimes as captured on this home surveillance camera. But the next morning, 24 hours since the car was stolen, a new tip.
I just got done fishing, was driving down the road, and I happened to see the vehicle.
Ever since last August when Brian Bushell was shot by an Anchorage burglar, he's been scouring the internet.
I don't trust nobody anymore as far as I'm concerned. And I'm always looking on them pages for my shooter because he's still out there.
He too had seen our post.
The silver roof rack was definitely the giveaway for that car. And I just did what I could really to try and help you out.
Brian called police and posted this tip to Facebook. The insurance company told me that if they don't find it, if the car isn't found within 24 to 48 hours, then it probably is not going to be found. Although they'll wait a few weeks before they kind of write it off as straight up stolen. I arrived just as the car was leaving. I called 911 and I followed and I watched. 2 men flagged it down, opened the back hatch and loaded something into the back. That's when I parked and started snapping these pictures from about 30 yards away. The car traveled another block and stopped.
Anchorage Police Dispatch.
The 911 dispatcher told me to stay put and stay safe.
The last thing we want is a citizen to place themselves in danger to assist us.
After several minutes, police arrived, making contact with the thieves. You know, I can tell you watching our car and waiting for police at that moment was one of the more intense experiences I've had. And then to see strangers stepping out of it, to step out of your car, surrounded by police with guns. That moment is where our story will pick up tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
Wow, Kyle, I know all of us here in the newsroom were following your Facebook detective work that weekend and quite concerned about your safety, to be quite frank about it. So, Kyle, the big question people may be asking tonight, how did they steal your car in the first place?
That is a good question. I was pretty self-righteous at first, thinking there's no way I left it unlocked. I never leave it unlocked. But I probably left it unlocked. I think the lesson for me was that there's no room for error. I think, I came home from the gym one night, probably didn't hit the thing on the fob and left it open, or unlocked anyway. We still aren't quite sure how they started it. That's a little bit of a mystery still. I think, I don't know if it was a used car, maybe there was an extra key stashed in it we didn't know about. Maybe that part I actually don't really understand how that happened.